Hi guys, thanks so much for tuning into this video. I'm Jay Theo, and if you're new here, welcome. And if you're not new, welcome back. First off, before I get started, I just want to say, hope you're having a good day. Hope you're having a good week. I know there's a lot going on in the world, especially for us Black, brown, LGBTQ folks. So just sending you an air hug because I know it's been a lot. So yes, just wanted to say that to start. So today's video will be the start of my virtual advice column called Just Ask Jay, where I will be dropping my email right down here and in the description, where you guys can send in questions and I offer my advice. And it can span from career, relationships, dating, friendships, coming out, family dynamics, all the things. I feel like in my 34 years of life and all my years of therapy, since for the most part, all my adult years, I feel like I definitely want to utilize what I know to give back to our community and start genuine conversation. Also, I'm an avid reader, and I do pride myself on my emotional intelligence. So all that to say, I want to answer these questions. I also just want to provide a safe space for anybody going through anything right now. I feel like the next few years are going to be very, very intense for our community. And I just want to make sure that providing a space for us to have conversation, for us to discuss things, and for us to support each other. So please, 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 this is a group effort. Do not hesitate to drop a comment, to offer your own advice or offer your own take. I really, really do appreciate it. And I just want us to continue to keep the conversation going. And if you have a question that you want to ask, please be sure to shoot me an email, shoot me a DM. I look forward to starting these conversations and answering all your questions. So with all that being said, let's go ahead and get right into it. So this is the first question I've ever received, and it's called Colorist Thoughts. Hi Jay Theo, I just want to say that I like the content that you do for the gay community, bringing us together. So I'm a 19-year-old gay man that is Black, and I've been having problems with liking my own skin. I feel like when it comes to dating, I always choose to like guys that are lighter skin complexion other than my own. I'm not sure if it's because I grew up in Arizona in a predominantly white town and went to a white school, but I always had that problem where I liked white guys or any guys lighter than my skin complexion. I also never talk about it to people because I'm afraid of being judged and people saying I'm a self-hater. I wanted to ask, what can I do to stop these thoughts? So first off, I want to say I appreciate you. I thank you. I'm glad that you reached out to me, and I'm glad that you feel that this is a safe space to generate this conversation. I first and foremost want to say that I am not judging you. I think this is a reality that a lot of Black and brown people go through when it comes to their attraction, their desire. So I am very, very proud of you for being honest, and I appreciate you. And I think a lot of people would be able to relate to this issue. And I'm one of them. I grew up dealing with dynamics of really liking light-skinned men. I grew up in a predominantly Black town, so I've always been attracted to Black men and always desired Black men. But I definitely had a phase where I really, really liked light-skinned, the whole Chris Brown, Drake era. For sure, I definitely had, I liked me some light-skinned boys. Even my first boyfriend in high school was light-skinned. So I definitely understand where you're coming from. And ultimately, our attraction, our desire is framed by our environment. So the fact that you lived in a predominantly white town, the fact you went to a predominantly white school, you having an attraction to white boys and to lighter skinned boys just makes sense. That's your environment. That's where you grew up. So there's no fault in that. That's just your environment. And that's just the reality a lot of people live in. But I think once we get older, and you being 19, having this awareness and this introspection is amazing. So first off, for you to be able to clock it and realize it and say, like, this is something I want to work on, that's amazing. But as we get older, we can control the environments we put ourselves in. So I'm not sure where you're going to college or what your next phase is now that you're 19 years old. But I definitely think if you feel that you want to have more of a connection, attraction to Black men, I would encourage you to find clubs, organizations, sports teams, anything that you have a hobby in. Try to find a Black group or a group that's more predominantly Black that you can join so that you can start building those genuine bonds with Black people and Black men. I feel like once you start building those genuine bonds and those genuine connections, you will then start building a genuine attraction towards Black men, and you will start being able to validate that you do have a connection and bond with Black men. I think that's something that you have to start formulating in a genuine way, and I think clubs and organizations is a way to do it. So I went to the Ohio State University for college, and it's a predominantly white school. But because it's one of the largest schools in the country, it had a very, very large Black population, even though the percentage was like 6 to 10%. So I met a lot of Black students that also went to predominantly white schools and were from predominantly white towns, but they made an effort to be a part of the Black organization. They made an effort to be a part of Black Student Union. They made an effort to be a part of Black Frats organization. They made an effort to come to the Black parties. And I had a few friends that were girls, and even guys that told me they never dated a black person or really had a black friend group until they went to college, and then now that's like kind of majority of what they date or who they interact with. So I think starting to build those bonds is what's going to help you kind of build that attraction towards black men if that's something you want to do, because you have to kind of confront the fact that you've never really had this, and you kind of have to build that organically. Because I feel like all you've had was the white connections, and I'm assuming maybe more biracial connections because you say light skin. Maybe that's really what you've only had. I also think maybe if you're on a dating app like Hinge where you can select the race, maybe just challenge yourself to go on some dates with some black men. Go on some dates with black men that are not super light skinned. And even if you're not completely attracted and you feel like on the date you feel like it's more of a friend level, that still is allowing you to build that connection with another black man, build that friend connection to where maybe the next stepping stone could be that bond that may generate a relationship, or that just helps validate that you can build those connections and build those bonds. Because I feel like ultimately, we all like pretty things. We are attracted to the physical first, but at the end of the day, that fades. And even with white boys, you may be attracted to that, but what bonds are you really generating? What bonds are you really creating with them? Do you feel like you are really creating that genuine bond? Because at the end of the day, just like white men and just like Latino men or Asian men can fetishize, so can we. We can fetishize white men, we can fetishize Latino men, we can fetishize Asian men. And if you're not humanizing them, if you're just objectifying them, you're doing a disservice to them as well. And I think at the end of the day, we all should be building bonds and connections because we genuinely like who the person is inside. We are humanizing them. If we're objectifying anyone, that's not serving us and that's not serving them, and that's just not a genuine connection. So I really would ask yourself, like, when you do have a crush on a white boy, where is it coming from? Is it just because they're white? If it is because they're cute, what else about them, though, makes you have a crush on them? And I just think as you get older, crushes become more of substance. I feel like now if I have a crush on somebody, yes, you could think somebody's attractive, somebody's hot, but if I have a crush on somebody, there's usually an eternal reason why. They're extremely funny. They're super smart. They're very considerate. They are very ambitious. I just love their energy, their vibe. It's more something internal that makes you have a crush on them. The physical is the first thing. Yes, I'm definitely attracted to certain people, and I like attraction. So that's the first step. But I'll meet a fine guy, and after 5 minutes, I could be over it just by his energy, just by his vibe. And I know for me, when I'm on dates and I can tell somebody is really, really into me because of my physical or because of how I look, I am instantly turned off because I want someone who's interested in me inside. I've dated white men before. I've dated white men that have told me they really like black boys and stuff like that. But if it's coming off fetishizing, then I'm not interested because I want somebody who's going to like me for me. And I've definitely connected with white men that where I've known they are more interested in me as a full person, not just because I'm black. So I feel like you, for yourself, have to ask yourself, when you're having crushes on people, what is the reason? And what about them as a human do I have a crush on, or do I have an interest in? Because at the end of the day, that's the core of what you want. And ultimately, what you like is what you like. Now, if you go on dates with black men and you pursue black men and you start befriending black men and it's still not working for you, that is okay. You are attracted to what you're attracted to. And it's going to take years and time to just unlearn the things that you have been built off your environment. So it may take a while for you to be like really open to being attracted to men outside of white men or men outside of light-skinned men, and that's okay. I think the fact that you're willing to unlearn that and start putting yourself in spaces and breaking that norm for you is the amazing part. But I think it's gonna take that time. It's gonna take building those genuine connections. It's gonna take you putting yourself in spaces where that are predominantly black, and for you really to ask yourself, when you are attracted to white men, we are attracted to light-skinned men, why? Because for me, I used to be like, why am I so pressed for light-skinned dudes? Why? And then I would go on, hang out and go on dates with darker-skinned dudes, and I would have a blast. My first real boyfriend that I've had as an adult, I had my little boyfriend in high school, which I don't really count. But then the one boyfriend I had a couple years ago as an adult, it was for like 3 or 4 months, but he was chocolate. And most of the guys that really I vibed with, to be honest, they were on the more darker side. And that's nothing against light skin, but I used to have this fixation towards light skin, but then I'm dating the darker skins are the ones that I'm actually able to really develop a real connection with. And I also think there's a shared connection. I'm not the lightest, so I feel like sometimes a darker person, we kind of share this connection of being more brown skin, and just because there is a subculture of that, in our community, and darker skinned people do have a lot of other obstacles they have to to work through in our society and things like that. So sometimes it can just be like a relatability factor. I don't even know what complexion you are. I'm assuming you may be a little bit darker skin or brown skin, but if you're lighter skin, that may be another reason why you may also be attracted to light skin. I mean, we also are attracted to who we are if we love ourselves and value ourselves. So I think there's a lot going on here, but I think there's a lot of ways to kind of view it and a lot of ways that you can kind of start building that framework to kind of make some changes for yourself. But I think it's going to be a journey. I think it's going to take time. Even for me, I mean, when I was growing up, I was very, very interested in masculine men, like very, very masculine, deep voice, very like, top type energy, whatever. But then the more I started dating really, really hyper masculine men, the more they started giving me the ick. And honestly, to this day, I really try to avoid them. Like, I really like more of a in-between type of energy. I like where you can be femme and you can be mask. I like where like we can go get our nails done, we can get facials, but if you want to wear basketball shorts or whatever, and you want to wear a fitted cap, you also can do that. But I also want somebody who's not afraid to throw on lip gloss. I wouldn't mind dating a guy that likes to do drag. Like, I'm open to both. And I feel like people that are more in the middle or they have more of that flexibility when it comes to the gender expression, it's just easier because I like housewives, they may like housewives. They don't judge me if I watch housewives. If I throw on some makeup, they don't judge me. If I want to wear a glittery top to go out or something like that, they don't judge me. It's just an easier connection. And I like to kiki. I like to vibe in a way that sometimes is more suitable for a gay man that's a little bit more on the feminine side. And that's something that it took years to work through. It took years and years and years for me to get to this place now where I'm more open to this, where before it was like, I need a masculine man. I need somebody that's like, going to put me in my place. I need somebody that's like, kind of in that. But that came from the environment of us being shown straight men, straight men, straight men. This is what it means to be a man. This is what it means to be a man. Even though we're gay, we're shown the same media and we're consuming the same things in our environment just as much as a straight woman is. So of course the men we're going to be attracted to is going to be that more masculine energy. And also a lot of the media that's shown to us, especially when it comes to blackness, when it comes to black men, is very like, especially in the 90s stuff was very like hood and, thug type energy, and even the porn you watch and stuff is still very focused on that hood thug type energy. So I think that's also just going to create this attraction and desire in your head that leans more towards more masculine. So just know that I'm still working through it. I'm sure people in the comments, they'll attest to like them still working through it. It is a process to unlearn what you have when it comes to attraction and desire. It's going to take a while, but like I said, the fact that you're open to it, you are miles ahead of a lot of people at your age to be open and to be reflecting on yourself. A lot of people don't even reflect on yourself. I know people my age and older that would never reflect and be like, hey, I want to work on my attraction. I want to work on what I like. I want to work on why I'm attracted to this thing. I want to have a deeper understanding of it, even just having a deeper understanding of it. So this is putting you miles ahead of so many other people, and it just shows the level of insight and the level of curiosity you have even about yourself and about why you operate the way you are. I think us asking questions about ourselves, having a self-interest, it shows that you have an interest in yourself in a way that goes deeper than a lot of people. So I really, really do want to commend you on that at your age. I think you at 19 being aware of this, I feel like it's going to allow you to really develop a lot more genuine relationships than you probably would have missed out on if you would have been so focused on, hey, I like white boys, I like light-skinned boys, I don't care, that's what I like, it's my preference, I don't give a, because people operate like that. I don't care, it's my preference, I don't care. But they use that to degrade and to minimize the other groups. If you really have a preference, then you shouldn't be degrading and, on other groups. That's not how it works. But a lot of people out there that only like white people, especially straight men, only like white girls. They like to degrade black women. They like to talk crap about black women. So it's definitely something that a lot of people usually don't try to fix. It's definitely something a lot of people don't care to fix. So the fact that you do just puts you miles ahead. And honestly, I think this question is definitely going to be so relatable to so many people. I think you're definitely going to see other people going through the same thing. And there's nothing wrong with it. There's absolutely nothing wrong with it. We all go through it. I think we also all understand that, it's okay to like certain things. We also cannot always control our temptations all the time. We're still human. And I think that's what's great about us. Like, we're always evolving. We're always growing. We're not perfect. And also just giving yourself some grace and letting you know that I'm not perfect. I grew up in an all-white town. I went to an all-white school. This is who I like, and that's okay. And that is still a great love. If your man ends up being white, that is okay. There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong if your man ends up being light-skinned. There's nothing wrong with that. You don't have to Like, I don't hope you don't feel ashamed or you feel less than yourself because that's what you desire. And even if you end up with that, that doesn't mean that you're a bad person, that you did something wrong, or that you don't warrant, or that you shouldn't deserve love, or you should deserve a real connection. At the end of the day, I think for you, if that's what you like, I just think be careful, because also there are a lot of white men out there that fetishize black men. So just be careful. Make sure you're asking them the right questions. Make sure you're understanding that they genuinely are attracted to you and to genuinely want to understand you as a person. Make sure that you're having those conversations. And I know you're still young, but you know, we are in a wild world right now when it comes to race. So just make sure that you're taking that extra step to really be like, okay, you said you like me. You said you're really attracted to me. Why? What about it? What about me do you like? What about me are you interested in? I know I ask people like that all the time. When dudes tell me they're just feeling me so much. I'm like, what do you feel about me? What do you like about me? Like, and I want to hear something that is not, oh, you're so cute, you're so this, you're so that. I want to hear, oh, your personality is amazing, or you always make me laugh, or I just love how you're able to problem solve, and I love how you like take the lead. Whatever it is, I feel like it should be more of a character trait, more of a value trait, more of that vibe, then oh, you're fine, you're attractive, I just love black dudes and you're just such a cute black dude. Like, you gotta make sure that you are able to kind of see those flags on your own as well, and you will learn as you go and you get more in this dating scene and you start testing the waters more when it comes to relationships and all of that, or even just hookups. You'll start seeing what the reality is. 'Cause I know for me, a lot of hookups is what showed me that masculine men are not for me. You go over, when you hook up with them, they act really like nonchalant. They don't offer you a water. They act like you're just an object. They don't act like you're a person. And that's where it's like, I want my husband, I want my man, I want my boyfriend to treat me like a human being. So if this is the energy, it's always going to be from hyper masculine guys, you can keep it. And I know a lot of girls go through that. So it's like, at the end of the day, that's not what I'm looking for. I want a partner. I want a lover. I want somebody who's compassionate. And those are all things that is not just based on looks, you know, at the end of the day. And that's just something I think also just over time you get older. Now that I'm 34 years old, I definitely have a lot more like, okay, I'm not tolerating this. I'm looking for this out of a person, even with friends. I need my friends to operate a certain way. You can be the baddest friend. You can look cute in a friend group, but if you're an asshole, I don't want to be friends with you. And I think that just takes time to develop over time as you get older. And you kind of have to shock that shallow aspect of your mind, even though it's a big factor in us, you know, being shallow, looking, you know, attraction, physicality, we do lean into all of that. But just know that that's something that as you get older, you'll also work through. So hopefully that answered your question. Hopefully that gave you something to kind of like sit on, marinate on. And then also you can start looking to see like if there's black groups or organizations or anything you can join to kind of start building that genuine connection. I really look forward to hearing from you. So please drop a comment if you are watching this. I definitely want to hear from you. And obviously everyone else watching, please be sure to drop a comment and add your take and let him know your advice. If you've gone through this, if you have had colorist thoughts, if you feel like you're only always interested in white men or light-skinned men, or if you're another race and you do this with another race, please let us know in the comments. Let us know how over time, how's that evolved? What did you do to unlearn these things? Or if you did end up with a white person, whatever, how did you make sure that you're humanizing them, that you're not objectifying them, and that connection is real and not just based on the fact that they're white or the fact that they're light-skinned or what have you. So yeah, so this was such a fun conversation. I really, yet again, appreciate you reaching out and sending that question. So to everyone else, please drop your questions to my email. It's justaskj@gmail.com. So I really look forward to reading these, connecting, and starting some genuine conversation. So with all that being said, as always, guys, do your best to stay safe, stay positive, and I will see you guys on the next video.